On the line with us, we have Jack Heskett with Deals and Wheels. Jack, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for being there. Before we get started with Jack, I want to ask you a few questions. Are you thinking of selling your car? You're wondering, where do you start? Where do you place an ad? How much time do you have to spend to sell your car? How much money is it going to cost you? Where do real car buyers look? The next guest on our show over the years has helped me sell hundreds of vehicles at a fraction of the cost of other advertising sources. His publication is so easy to find, free to pick up, and read cover to cover by real car buyers. Other magazines have tried to imitate and failed miserably. His success stories are so common we had to introduce you to our industry's finest local car selling publication. Whether you're looking to buy or selling a car, this is the first place we suggest you turn. Jack Heskett, owner of Deals and Wheels, welcome.
Thank you, Mitch.
And thanks for taking your time and allowing us to introduce you to our community. Would you start by giving our listeners a description of your publication?
Well, we started about 25 years ago, and we print 50,000 every 2 weeks, and our coverage goes to Elko, Nevada, to the Oregon border, down to Sacramento, and down south to Bishop, California, with the majority of the distribution being in the Reno, Sparks, Carson, Lake Tahoe area.
My guess is people are often surprised about how affordable advertising in your magazine really is. What does it cost for a private seller to list a car with you?
We'll take the picture if you don't have one, but to run it in our paper is $20 for 2 weeks. That includes approximately a 2-inch by 1.5-inch picture. Not a little postage stamp picture, but it's a good-sized picture. You can give a lot of detail on it. And that also includes a 15-word description. And it'll run for 2 weeks, like I said.
Usually, in order for someone to sell their car, they have to be able to take a picture, upload it, and go through this complete program software. It gets a little frustrating for some people. Well, they can do this with you. I understand that you'll also do that for them if they want. Is that right?
Right. We'll. In fact, we're taking pictures today for the next issue. This Saturday and next Saturday, we'll be at the big Chevron car wash in South Virginia between 1 and 1:30. In fact, if come in and say you heard it over the radio, or if you just show up, we'll give you a free car wash before we take the picture, so it'll look good and nice before we take the picture. But also, if they don't want to do it that way, they just call our office at 800-255-4925, and we'll come out to your house and take the picture. All we ask for is a small gas charge. It depends where you're at, but like we'll go clear out the Spanish Springs in that area. And actually, we have a man that goes to Fallon and Carson City and Gardnerville.
So you make it real convenient to list a car with you. And I just want to have you go over what you just said again. If they mention that they heard your interview on the radio, this is the only radio show you're on today, so if they don't remember the CarBuyer Advisor or the Buzz or 1270, they can say all of that. But if they just say, we heard about it on the radio today, they can take their car out to, is it in South Virginia and Longley?
Right.
At the Chevron gas station, and there's a car wash in there, and if they come out today to have their photo taken to run their ad, you'll have their car washed for free too. Right,
we'll wash it before we take the picture, and that's between 1 o'clock and 1:30 on Saturday.
It would cost them that much just to have their car washed. They get a free ad, it sounds like.
Right.
Now, how much extra do you charge to take the photo for them?
The picture is included in the price. It's $20 if it's black and white, and $40 if it's color, and that's for 2 weeks. If we have to go out, we'll charge like a minimum of $10 for gas to different areas. And a lot of times people have more than one unit. In fact, we're doing right now, we'll run 2 cars in color for the same price. So to get $40 for 2 ads if you have 2 vehicles you want to sell, or 2 items actually. And I failed to mention at first, if people aren't familiar with our paper, we do advertise cars and trucks very heavily, but there is some vans and boats and motorcycles, and it's a pretty popular paper with different items on display. So
Well, I mentioned that you've sold hundreds of vehicles, and I may be understating that over the decade plus that I've worked with you personally. And it's businesses like yours that really give me my jollies introducing you to the community. You mentioned that your 50,000 is your distribution and the reach that it has, but you also, in addition to that, list their car on your website too. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we'll put it on the website on the internet run it for 3 months for you. That's basically how we find out which cars you're selling, because the people will tell us, don't put it on there, or I already sold it, or as soon as it runs one time, could you get it off there, because I'm still getting phone calls. And we've tracked it several times, and it runs a little over 40% sales out of our paper. And to be honest with you, the key to our publication is our distribution. We cover such a wide area. We go to areas where there's no used cars available for people, except, they have to find one, and then in our publication, so forth.
Well, and as I mentioned to you before when we were talking about this, that I can't count the number of times, people walk into a restaurant, your publication's there, it's free, they'll pick it up, or they'll go into their convenience market to get a cup of coffee, and they pick it up. And a lot of people just love to read it because they just love to see the cars in there. There's such a variety. I mean, there's thousands of them.
Right.
And they what happens, I'm sure a lot of cars you've sold to people that didn't even know that they were really out to buy one, just because they went, oh, no, I have to have it.
Well, there's several stories I could tell you. One of the stories I tell you is this father told his son to find a car or truck, whatever, and so he started looking in Deals and Wheels. Every issue come out, and every issue he'd find one or two in the paper and circle it and lay it on his dad's desk. And finally his dad got the hint, and they went out and bought a car. But that's what happens, is they start looking, and they'll find something in there they like, or that you don't see every day on a used car lot. And the private party listed the car and didn't realize the coverage that we have, and they're getting calls from places they've never even heard of in northern Nevada and on the edges of up in California. We cover such a large area.
Roughly how many people also check out your website online, Cars Online with you?
Pardon me?
About how many people also check out your online listings?
We can track that a little bit, but basically what it amounts to right now is we're up around 3,000 to 4,000 people that get on our website every issue.
So you're reaching 53 to 54,000 people that are interested in cars, looking for cars. I can't think of a better place, and it's obvious that's why you've sold so many cars for me over the years. Right. Many of your competitors not only charge more to advertise, but they also, I heard, they sell customer phone numbers to telemarketing companies. Is that true?
We heard that about a couple of different internet places for people trying to put their car on the internet. And there is companies out there that will take the phone number off, put it on the list, and then sell it to people who do their solicitation over the phone. And
you've never had any part in this either, is that right?
No problem, no. They have to go on into our website in order to get the picture, and ours are pretty well protected. So,
what you're mentioning is where they'll copy the picture and try to run an ad and make like they're selling a car. It's part of some schemes that are out there. But before we wrap it up, could you offer some advice to our listeners about selling their own car?
Well, I think one of the big things is present your car, whether, when somebody's coming, when you're going to meet somebody to show them the car, but present it like you'd want it to be if you were looking for the car. In other words, make sure it's clean, gets all the, McDonald paper wrappers and everything out of the car if possible, and, actually give it a really good clean job, detail, if you can, and just make it really presentable, and it might give you one chance to sell it, and if it doesn't look good or doesn't strike the customer's eye very good, then you might lose that chance. But basically, we're going to be getting you calls from places all over the place if the car's priced right and the photo's a good photo, and that's why we like to take most of the photos, but you can email us a photo in. I just suggest that people, if they're interested in running an ad, look for our paper in any major grocery store, mini markets, 7-Eleven, or several different restaurants. Just ask if you don't see one. The manager will either get it for you or he'll have the next one there. But if you pick up the paper and just look on page 2, it'll give you there's like 4 different ways you can place your ad, and it's so easy that it's scary, and it doesn't cost you any money, and we do take Visa and MasterCard, so we can do everything by phone or by the internet.
Oh, thank you very much. Jack Haskett, Deals and Wheels Photo Ads. Jack, please tell them once again the phone number, how they can reach you. 800-255-4925. But like I say, the easiest way to do it is pick up a copy of our paper and go from there. And thanks a lot, Mitch, for having me on.